Wow, season two coming at ya. This is hashtag I am Jason Hopkins podcast. And my job is to be honest. I was popping and moving forward with season one, and things happen. Life happens to us. Accidents happen. My uncle will be very hard to forgive, but he called me after season one and told me I was a piece of shit and I didn't know anything about anything. I kind of shut down, and it was a really hard time at that time going through what I was going through. And then we had COVID, and I was a mess. I ended up going to rehab in 2021, 22, and what a journey has it been. Through my addiction, there's been many songs that have saved my life, and sometimes it's just one quote from a motivational speaker as I'm going into work that has really changed me and made me change direction. And, that's just what I want to give out. All I'm going to give out is my experience. And I've been waiting and waiting. I've had this cough this fall, like nonstop. My voice is all screwed up, but I'm bringing it to you. Season one, I brought it to you. There was a couple times I was drunk. I'm not going to deny that at that time. I'm going to explain my journey, and I'm going to explain the 12 steps, and I'm going to say what it was that actually saved my life. And you know what? If there's tons of haters or there's people I don't even get listeners, but you know what? If there's one person out there that changes their thought and their idea, that's what I'm doing this for. My brothers and sisters and all the clinicians that, may have their phone, send them a link, man. Send them this. There's no cost. Podcasts are free, man. Like, just send it out to them. The 12 steps actually saved my life. And I hope it does to you in the same regards. The platform that it has and can do. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to tell you my experience with it and how long it took me to actually listen and actually read what was in the book. But as we begin, I need you to, make a list. Like, well, who do you want to be? Because right now, you're probably struggling. And I'm with you. Every day is a struggle. You're kind of chasing that ghost. You're chasing the withdrawals that you're having right now, and you're just trying to get fixed and get better to make yourself better. And we lose sight of that within addiction. And it is a disease. It is within us. And people around us are not infected with it. And that's why we gravitate to people who are, because we actually, we want to be felt. We have codependency issues. We have trigger issues. We have insecurities. We have past trauma. We have PTSD. We have so many things that is helping this disease. And I just want you to have hope. And that's the point of my No Laces group. And yeah, I'm going to be plugging that. Like, it's a group, and the website is coming out, the blog's coming out. Like, I'm just ready to fucking explode. And it's just awesome. It's unbelievable where I was at and where I'm at now. And all I want to do is just set forth the precedence. Again, when I do these, if you're listening in your car or you're listening wherever you're at, I do one take. I do not know how to go through and splice and fix and make the thing perfect. That's what makes me perfect. I'm imperfectly perfect. Season one, I left it. There was times you probably couldn't even hear me. I just left it. I'm talking about all the stuff that I just know. And I took a deep reflection after my uncle. One, I want to say for those out there, whoever is not paying your bills or helping you pay your bills, fuck them in their opinions. Their opinions do not mean anything unless they are giving you money or paying your bills. Then it matters. And you kind of have to do what you got to do. So too long have I went and worried to try to be accepted and try to be wanted by people. And all that's done is just bite me in the ass. And then lead for me another resentment. I will say I'm a lot. So screw it. If some of you or someone else has done this before, then you know as well step one. Every rehab, every recovery, every detox is about what? Getting you clean, going through that process. Do you feel like a number and money? Yes, but they're also helping you. And you have to realize that most of these people cannot teach step one, step two, step three, and all the rest adequately. And I'm blessed that I have been taught that. And I am very blessed. And I'll never forget that. I will not, be friends with the person that taught me. I mean, also with people in this group and in this personality section, there also comes a lot of trouble, and no one is perfect. And I understand that and I accept them where they're at. But what I do not like is predators within the recovery community. And that happens. That's probably a whole nother episode. But anyway, you go into recovery, you go into detox. Everything is step 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's it. No one goes into anything. And for me, respectfully, excuse my language, I was always like, fuck this shit. Fuck this higher power. Fuck you. After 22 years of it, 7 detoxes, 2 long-term cares, lost my life 3-4 times, committed suicide. Like, what the hell? Maybe I should listen. I had a diagnosis in detox. And it's called a bucket of fuckets. And, I carried that with me. And I was the asshole in the group. And I was the one being in denial. And I was the one pointing fingers at every single person that came around. And the bucket of fuckets is basically the new beginning of detox. Our minds are so mush. And they do say that when you really get sober, you revert back to your 12-year-old mind or back to the person you were before you started using. And, I was 12. So, I get that. And maybe that's why I love Lunchables. I love easy stuff, finger foods, stupid shows. But, when you cross over to the sober life, it's pretty interesting. And I want you to join me in this. And that's why I'm doing this. When you get past that, step 1, we admitted we were powerless over drugs, that our lives have become unmanageable. Relax. Deep breath. Big words. This dude, Jason, is trying to help me go into this thing, and right now I don't believe in God. My life, I think, is manageable, and I am not powerless because I am controlling every single thing I do in my life. And you're not. You think you are. You are not. And the biggest thing is don't play God. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay that you're powerless. And your life is fucking unmanageable. We as addicts want to have everything our way. It's like intention versus action. And I'll go over this and over. Powerless versus unmanageable. I want comments. I want this to get going. I want it to help people. And I want to know what your thoughts are on this. You don't have to agree. I don't want you to agree. When I do a lead, I get the guys that absolutely hate the steps and at that moment have no God, because I was that way. When I was at my darkest moment, I was living in my mobile home, like 2011 Malibu, by the creek, stealing from stores, and showering at the local truck stations. My intentions and actions were also so freaking out of whack. I was unmanageable. I blame my mom, my dad, my sister, my ex-girlfriends, kids. I blame everyone. Yet I'm doing this every day, and I am literally living in my car. Sorry, it's just taking me back. I was so unmanageable when I had zero clue. I wasn't another of deniability. Like my life and my system of thinking was unbelievable. And, I was in denial with myself and my actions. And I had zero intentions to do anything. It was all me. And I did it as far and as long as I could. It's not the life that I wanted to live. This was right after the mask came out, right? And I say this in my lead, so this is nothing secret. When I go into my stuff, that's my paper. So if you're hearing that jingle around, I don't care. I was so anti-mask and anti-vax and all that shit, and I literally, blah, 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 I won't wear my mask, I won't do this. And, this is definitely resentment. This is something that I had to admit in step 9, and you really have to go through it. I would mask the fuck up and throw the hoodie on and go in and steal liquor. And that's something I have to deal with and I have to live with. And I have to also let go. And people that really get this, it's not 100% me. I'm kind of like on auto control. I'm just going through the process. Your perception is your reality. And what is your reality? How you view this process is how it will happen. Perception of being unmanageable, perception of self, perception of what you're doing, you want to continue. And I'm sorry, guys. You're tired of being tired. And I'm here to say, take my heart, take my hand, and let's go through this. Uncomfortableness is the only place you grow. And I will get into me training and how great my life was and how I screwed that up. A muscle grows, that I told all my clients. I was a personal trainer. The muscle grows only when it's broken down. That's the only way it grows. And us, in this community of recovery, addicts, trauma, domestic violence, you name it, we are broken the fuck down. And you know what? There comes a point where you have to actually look inward. We don't want to. We do not want to. It's so hard. And you have to say, I am actually powerless. I'm not playing a victim card here. But my life has been playing the victim card. And I had to really wrestle with that. We are victims of being powerless. And if you're honestly, and you're hungover, you have the shakes, you don't feel well, your friend is making you listen to this with them, you can do it. You're worth it. Please listen to me. You are worth it. These uncomfortable moments, you will grow from it. And at a time when your muscle is broken, it grows. So please, stay with us in this process. Stay with us in this podcast. Subscribe. Do whatever. I don't know all the IT stuff, obviously, but I'm just putting this out there. I have sponsees that I have made a difference. I have also had one of the hardest years of my life I've ever been through. And it was caused by me. I did all this damage. I damaged every single person around me. I've hurt every single person around me. And only when you get clear-minded and you're sober for a couple months is then you can actually work to build that stuff better. And it's been a year. What do I want? I want everything to be perfect. It's not going to be. But remember, being alone, being cold, down by the creek, in my mobile home. It's hard. It is. But please, I want you to take this first step with me. I want you to send me an email. I want you to send me a text. How, what, when. Just start here. A lot of this stuff, AA, NA, recovery, is very cliche. It is, it's going to be. We need that repetitiveness because we need it. Because that's all we've done is rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, wash. Like, and make ourselves so fucking dirty. And then we stop washing. We stop looking at ourselves. And we stop looking at what we are deep down. And we get to a place where we actually want to hurt ourselves. We get to a place where life isn't fair. And we want to point our fingers and we want to say this and that. Addiction is a disease. Period. If John and Jerry or John and Mary go and they find out they have cancer, they have to follow the steps of the doctor. They have to. You're going to do this, this, and this. We have a disease. We have to follow the steps. Do this, this, and this. And we will make you better. But what we do, we are special creatures in the realm of addiction. And it's like we get a recipe for Full House cookies. You know, you get chocolate chips, the recipe's on the back. You can't just go in and say, fuck it, I want to put 3 eggs in instead of 2. I want to put 4 eggs. I really like eggs. Let's put 5. I want to put more milk in or whatever. You can't just wing the shit. You can't have cancer and just wing the shit. You have to follow the rules. Diabetes, you have to follow the rules. High blood pressure, you have to take your pills. What is the result? You will die. Do the best you can within that time to battle like hell and follow that fucking recipe. Well, that's what this is today, folks. Step 1, I can't get any more into unmanageable, manageable, powerless, because we already know this. We've been taught this. Chances are most of us has been in detox more than 5-7 times. Plenty of times. We've also been in counseling plenty of times. I want you to listen and be a part of this and build the No Laces community. And a recap on the No Laces, I think it was the very first time I ever went to a detox facility, and this fucking Karen nurse, if there's Karens out there, I'm sorry, it's just the best way I can describe it. She cut the laces out of my pants, out of my freaking shoes, my Chuck Taylors, and I was pissed. I was really pissed. And work sent me there. So again, I'm in denial, so I'm not going to admit that, I'm not going to say anything else. I was in 100% denial. It was the very first time. Obviously, I had more. I already said that. And she cut my shit out. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she goes, listen, bud, I don't care if you fucking want to kill yourself and go in your room and hang yourself, but I have to do this. And I felt completely gone. My heart dropped. Everything was just like, it just slowed down. And it hurt. And No Laces is the movement that I got going. And it's basically about taking your inner power back. And it's not just for addicts. This is for all type of recovery. Not just AA, not just NA, not just gambling, not just porn, not just sex. This is every single thing that this is about. PTSD, trauma, I almost said STD, trauma, domestic violence. It's about every goddamn thing in the book. And we're going to throw it at it, and I'm going to come fighting it with you. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to be with me on this. Man, because it's going to be great. It will be great. And if you're struggling with the God thing, very, very, very lastly important, some of you don't have that. Some of you don't have any spirituality. I thought I did, and then when I really dived deep into my recovery, I didn't. And I remember wanting to follow these steps, because like what I've been doing on my own has not been working. I need help, and I need to just do it this time. It's the best time ever for me to do this. And I started praying to my grandma. She was my higher power. And through time, in recovery, it did definitely 100% change to God, because there's beautiful things that come when you do that. And I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what not to say. I didn't know what to ask for. And I just did it every day and every night and throughout the day. There was days in the beginning, it was almost every hour on the hour. We'd have a smoke break and everyone would go out, and I'm coping as hell, so I shed the first 2 weeks. I think in rehab I always smoke because I just want to see what's going on and talking to the people. It's just so many funny things, and hopefully you guys can relate as we go through this. But don't worry about the cut. That will come. What I want you to do now is step one. I want you to just admit that your life is unmanageable and you are powerless. It's that simple. Then we move to the next step. And in the next podcast, you definitely can hit me up, you can text or whatever, but the next podcast, we will go into step 2. We're going to drive through this thing, and who knows what it's going to be or how it's going to be, but I want it to be fucking fantastic. And I want to see the light in people's eyes. I have sponsees that are in a lot of trouble. I have sponsees that actually don't have any addiction problem. No alcohol, no drugs. And they do the steps. Because that's how beautiful. What we don't see is the step 4. Oh my God. Beauty in the step 4. It's the hardest. At least in my opinion. It's the most challenging. It's the most look in the mirror and see your own soul that you didn't even know you had type of thing. And to me, it's magic. And it's beautiful. So, we're going to wrap up today. Thank you. Leave a comment. Do whatever. This is on all platforms. So, hopefully it sounds good. If the quality's messed up, it's okay. I was going to say the quantity. But I can't even think of that word. The content, there we go. The content is what's powerful. And that's what I want focused on. The people that don't agree with this, they will focus on the latter. That's fine. Let them go. Anyway, I love you guys. Please love yourself and reach out to someone. That is most definitely one of the most powerful things you can do. And anyway, this is I Am Jason Podcast. I love you guys. Reach out if you need something, and I'll be coming back with step 2. Let's roll. Happy 2022. Boom.